Hi there, future scientists and math wizards. Welcome to Smile Road. I'm Sir M, and I created this channel just for you, senior high school students looking to make science and math easier, clearer, and yes, even more fun. On Smile Road, we explore exciting lessons in general science, solve real life problems in general mathematics, and learn how the subjects connect to the world around us, from the boats to your monthly budget. Each meeting, I'll guide you through lessons using simple explanation, real life examples, and even a few challenges to keep your brain sharp. Whether you're reviewing for exams, catching up on class topics, or just curious about how the world works, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you won't miss any of our learning adventures here on Smile Road. So, are you ready to start this journey with me? Let's walk the road of knowledge with a smile. For today's lesson number 4, we are going to deal with understanding thermal energy, practice problems, and also MCQ. Lesson number 4, understanding thermal energy. Thermal energy is the energy that comes from the movement of particles in matter. All objects are made up of tiny particles, atoms and molecules that are constantly moving. The faster these particles move, the more thermal energy the object has. We often feel thermal energy as heat. When you touch a warm mug or stand under the sun, you are feeling the thermal energy being transferred to your body. What affects thermal energy? Thermal energy depends on three things. Number one, temperature. Higher temperatures means faster particle movement and more thermal energy. Mass. More particles mean more thermal energy, even if the temperature is the same. Type of substance, different materials show and transfer thermal energy differently. Examples, a pot of boiling water has more thermal energy than a cup of boiling water, even if both are at the same temperature because the pot has more mass. When you rub your hands together, they get warm. This is the motion, this is because of the motion, which is the friction adding thermal energy. Important notes, thermal energy is part of internal energy, the total energy of particles inside a substance. It flows from the hot objects to cold objects until both reach the same temperature. This is called heat transfer. Thermal energy is energy from the motion of particles in matter. It increases with temperature, mass, and the type of material. We experience thermal energy as heat. Thermal energy heat formula. Q is equals to mc delta T, where Q is thermal energy or heat in joules. Mass of the substance in kilograms. C is specific heat capacity in joules per kilogram per degree centigrade. Delta T, change in temperature, the final initial in degree centigrade. Next is number 2, latent heat formula for phase changes. So Q is equals to ml, where Q is the heat absorbed or released in joules, M in mass, which is in kilogram, L in latent heat, which is joules per kilogram, depending on the type of the phase change. LF means latent heat of fusion, which is melting or freezing. LB, latest heat, latent heat of vaporization, boiling or condensation. These formulas help explain how much thermal energy is needed to change temperature of a substance when you use Q is equals to mc delta T. Change the phase of a substance, you need to use Q is equal to ml. Practice problem number 1. How much heat is needed to raise the temperature of 2 kilograms of water from 20 degrees centigrade to 60 degrees centigrade? Specific heat of water is 4.186 joule per kilogram per degree centigrade. Given mass 2 kilograms, C 4,186 joules per kilogram per degree centigrade, T1 20 degrees centigrade, T2 60 degrees centigrade, required Q. We know that the formula of Q is equal to mc delta T, and delta T is T2 minus T1, 60 minus 20, that's 40 degrees centigrade. Substitute all the values and you will be getting 334 1,880 joules. Next, number 2. A piece of metal is heated from 30 degrees centigrade to 70 degrees centigrade and absorbs 18,000 joules of energy. What is its mass if its specific heat capacity is 900 joules per kilogram per degree centigrade? Our given data, we have Q is equals to 18,000 joules, C 900 joules per kilogram per degree centigrade. Our delta T is 70 minus 30, which is equals to 40 degrees centigrade. And the formula for our mass is Q over C delta T. Substitute all the given data, and then you can get the mass to be 0.5 kilogram. Problem number 3. A 1.5 kilogram copper pot is cooled from 150 degrees centigrade to 50 degrees centigrade, releasing 57,750 joules of heat. What is its specific heat capacity? Given mass 1.5 kilograms, delta T from 50 150 minus 50. So you have 100 degrees centigrade. No, it should have to be negative 100 degrees centigrade because it should have to be 50 minus 150. So Q is 57,750 joules. And then we are required to get the C. C is substitute all the data and take note our delta T is negative. So therefore, the final answer is not positive 385 joules per kilogram per degree centigrade, but negative. I stand corrected on that matter. Thank you. Next, number 4. A 0.8 kilogram block of iron absorbs 27,000 joules of heat and reaches a final temperature of 100 degrees centigrade. If the specific heat is 450 joules per kilogram per degree centigrade, what was the initial temperature? So the mass is equals to 0.8 kilogram. Q is 27,000 joules. T2 is 100 degrees centigrade. 100 degrees centigrade. Specific heat is equals to 450 joules per kilogram per degree centigrade. We are asked to get for T1. First, solve for delta T. And that delta T is Q over MC. Substitute the data, you got 75,000. And then we know that T1 minus T1 is equals to T2 minus delta T, which is 100 minus 75. Your answer is 25 degrees centigrade. Next, number 5. A 3 kilogram sample of oil absorbs 240,000 joules of thermal energy as it is heated from 15 degrees centigrade. If the specific heat of oil is 2,000 joules per kilogram, what is the final temperature? The mass is 3 kilograms. Specific heat is 2,000 joules per kilogram degree centigrade. Q is 200,000 joules per kilogram degree centigrade, and the Q is 240,000 joules. We are asked to solve for T2. So therefore, delta T is equals to Q over MC, and substituting all the given data, we got that to be 40 degrees centigrade. Okay, so because T2 minus T1 is equals to delta T, when you obtain T2, your formula will be T1 plus delta T. So the answer is 55 degrees. Next, number 6. It takes 668 joules of heat to melt a sample of ice at 0 degrees centigrade. What is the mass of the ice? The latent heat of fusion for ice is 334,000 joules per kilogram. We are given the Q, 668,000 joules. You are given the L, 334,000 joules per kilogram. Require the mass. So to get the mass, it's Q over L. Substitute the given data, and you will get 2 kilograms. Next, number 7. A 0.3 kilogram sample of ice requires 90,000 joules of energy to melt. What is the latent heat of fusion? Q is equals to 90,000 joules. Mass is 0.3 kilogram. Required is the L, the latent heat of fusion, LF. So the formula to get the L is Q over M. Substitute the given data, you will be getting 300,000 joules per kilogram. Next, number 8. How much heat is released when a kilogram of steam condenses into water at 100 degrees centigrade? Latent heat of vaporization for water is 2,260,000 joules per kilogram. Given mass is 1 kilogram, LV is 2,260,000 joules per kilogram. Q is equal to ML. And then substitute the data. So 1 kilogram times, so you have 2,260,000, I'm 2,260,000 joules per kilogram. So our Q is equals to 2,260,000 joules. Next, number 9. Calculate the energy needed to boil 0.5 kilogram of water at 100 degrees centigrade. Latent heat of vaporization for water is 2,260,000 joules per kilogram. The mass is 0.5 kilograms. LV is 2,260,000 joules per kilogram. You are asked to get the Q. So Q is ML. Substitute all the data, you will be getting for Q to be 1,130,000 joules. Number 10. How much energy is released when 0.2 kilogram of water freezes at 0 degrees centigrade? Latent heat of water is 334,000 joules per kilogram. The mass is 0.2 kilogram. LF is 334 joules per kilogram, and Q is equals to ML. Substitute all the given data, you will get 66,800 joules. Okay, so we will continue with the part 2 of this. Thank you.